Okay, hello everyone. I hope you are all well. I am back with doing some home training for you guys, giving you some tips and technique, and also for you to see the adaptations that I use in a normal flat like all of you have. No,
No?
because they won't get to see anything. Amore. No, Tony, no. The adaptations that as every one of you, so I don't see the point of no offense, but I don't see the point of the coaches who are motivating their clients to keep on track with their training whilst they have a full gym at home. It's really easy. It's like almost the same like those coaches that are living life in Dubai and I'm telling people that they do understand the struggles about lockdown. So I'm not one of them. I have been training, although I have equipment and I could potentially have the same weights that I was using at the gym. I committed with my clients to do the same home training that they are all doing, so I can go through the phases of challenge, mental challenge, boredom challenge, and actually adapting into the house in order to get the same stimulus, because that's the best way of coaching. Like if I'm expecting someone to stick to a plan and I am doing something completely different, then I have no power on telling that person that whether they good or bad at not sticking to the plan. Okay, I think you got my point. So now back into what we're gonna do as a training session today. I'm a little bit agitated already because we were warming up, but the two movements that I'm gonna take you with me today is pronate hamstring curls, banded and dumbbell. So normally I use both of them because I really like the way that the dumbbell forces you to involve your glutes and keep everything really tight, even your calves. And adding the tension to the band will then mean that I do have tension on the eccentric part of the movement, which is another thing that I'm gonna talk to you today about. So when doing home workouts, we're gonna make sure that we are focused on tempo, which is time under tension. I will make a post about it tonight for those of you who still don't know what tempo is, but we wanna make sure that we slow down the tempo as the weights that we are lifting are not as heavy or as challenging as the ones that you lift on the gym. So time under tension tempo stands for time under tension, is the kind of Italian way of saying time, tempo. And anyone who dances knows tempo, which is basically the speed at which you perform the movement. And when it comes to tempo, hello, there's the chili. Gracias. So when you perform the tempo, you will always face yourself with 4 numbers, sometimes just 3 numbers because they kind of omit the last number, but normally it's 4 numbers. And the first number will stand for the eccentric part of the movement, or the negative part of the movement, or the part of the movement that is going towards the floor. However, in some exercises like pull-ups or lat pull-downs, this can become a little bit tricky. But remember, always the first number is the negative part of the movement, which means which stands for the part of the movement that everyone thinks that the muscle is not working and they rush out. Actually, that is the part of the movement that you need to put more emphasis on. And the second number is how long you will hold it at that position that you reach on this eccentric phase. The third number is a concentric phase, which is direction towards the ceiling, or the actual part of the movement that you think is meant to work, and that's concentric part. And then the last number is for how long you hold it on the starting position before you start the next rep. Okay, so for lying hamstring curls, me and Mateo might be helping me with adapting the bands and stuff, but for banded hamstrings curls, I am going to, my assistant just went out. I am gonna use a tempo of 4 seconds down, hold a little bit because otherwise I will drop the dumbbell, 2 seconds up, hold 1 second and then go down again.
the delivery is here, so you might have to do the shoulders first.
So, my assistant has to go. And because I really needed him for this exercise, I'm gonna start with the second exercise, which is shoulder press. So, shoulder press, this time I'm gonna be doing it standing, and there are a few different ways of doing shoulder press. So, you have a seated shoulder press, seated not back supported shoulder press, that is more like an S press, and that works more on your core. Standing shoulder press, if you put a lot of focus on your core, it can work your core a lot. That's the one we're doing today. And a incline shoulder press and a Arnold press. So there are a few of them, yeah, and including to that all the different variations. The one I'm doing today is dumbbell standing shoulder press, and the tempo that I'm using is 4, 2, 2, 1, which means 4 seconds on the way up. So once I get up here, 4 seconds on the way down. So that's gonna be really challenging for my arms, for my shoulders, and for my core, because I am not lifting light weights either. Then in here, I'm gonna hold it for 2 seconds, then I'm gonna go hold 2 seconds up, and in here I start again. So I have no pause at the top, because many people when doing shoulder press, they kind of find themselves resting in this position here, and then they start again, and then they rest in this position. So we're using a lot of momentum. No, we're gonna start from here, gonna go up in 2, down in 3 or 4 seconds, hold 2 seconds in here, so we feel that extra contraction on the shoulders. Now, bear in mind it's in here, not in here, because from here you will find it really hard to come back up. So just until the point that you still feel your shoulders engaged. So for you to see, I'm gonna do it here with you. So I am doing it with a 12.5 on each of my weights. And normally I will just clean the weights, and then from here we start. So we go up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's 2, 3, 4. So notice that I kind of already realized what tempo or how long the tempo is, and then I don't keep counting the tempo, I just know more or less how long it takes on every position. I want you to see it from my side. So that was 12 reps. I'm aiming to do anything between 12 to 10, between 10 or 12 reps before I increase the weight. That was actually an increase from last week. Last week I was only doing 12 on each side. However, it's only been 0.5 increase. On upper body you feel it a lot, especially when you're training and talking. Now, the next step will be the pronate hamstring curls, which if I could, I will do it myself, but I really need Matteo. So as you come in here, let's just practice again what I'm saying about tempo. So in that one that I just did, the tempo was 4, 2, 2, 1, which means the first number, it doesn't mean that it's the first part of the movement, yeah? I told you, first number is the concentric part. So although this is the first part of the movement on that movement that I just did, shoulder press, and you see 4 at the beginning, it doesn't mean that it will be 4 seconds to get up, because that actually doesn't make any sense. It's taking 4 seconds to go up, especially because that's the hardest part of the movement. You normally will take longer on the easiest part of the movement. Alright, so we have the step. Ideally, I will need Matteo to help me with putting the band, but let's pretend that you normally only plan it either band or dumbbell, but I need to find more challenging for me because I cannot go any heavier on weight, and the weight that I have is not challenging enough. So that's why I add the band, so I have resistance both way. Okay, so Matteo will kindly help me to set myself up and let me know if I'm on camera.
Yeah. That's one. And two. Ready?
Alright, so what I do here, 3 seconds down, 1 second hold, 2 seconds up, 1, 2, and again. 1, squeeze the glutes against the mat. Good. One, two, three, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, and again. 1, 2, 1, 2, and again. Good, I'm gonna do 2 more, and then I'm gonna drop. The reason why I know that I can only have 2 more on me is because I started to lift my hips. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna drop everything, and then Matteo is gonna help me to get the dumbbell back up. I will do a few reps with the dumbbell, just with the dumbbell, making sure you're squeezing the glutes against the step, keeping the same tempo. And lastly, what I'm gonna do, I have more reps on me, but I wanna keep you waiting. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drop this way, and I'm gonna ask Matteo to put my band again, and I'm just gonna finish the hamstrings by isometrically holding here on the band. So hold as hard as you can. You can feel it on your glutes, you can feel it on your hamstrings. You can feel it everywhere.
Awesome.
And that, let me tell you, is a killer of a superset. So I hope this was useful. Yeah, very hard, I know. Hope this was useful. I'm gonna be posting it on my home training CDS. And thank you for watching.